Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Rakdos Manufacturing. So with Edge of Eternity, we got this card called Weapons Manufacturing, a 2-mana enchantment that says whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, create a colorless artifact named Munition with whenever this leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. So that's an insane card. It's very sort of hidden in its ability because a lot of people think of this as, well, this is non-token, so I can't combo it with, treasures and things like that, so it's not that good. But that's where you'll be wrong, because the deck right now, the standard right now, has a lot of very important artifacts that we want to play in the form of removals. So we got Grim Bauble, and we have Tithing Blade. Both of which are artifacts that, whenever they come in, removes an opponent's creature, which means that while we're removing a creature, we'll get a munition. We also have Legion Extruder, which, when it comes in, it deals 2 damage, which more or less could serve as a removal, and then we'll get a munition that can deal 2 damage. And then once we have banked up a lot of munitions, we can just play a card like Umbral Collar Zealot and shotgun our opponent down with all of those munitions that we have kind of left running around. And there is another card that I think got kind of fall under a lot of people's radar. The Crime Novelist, a 3-mana 1/3 that says whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and add a red. Well, we can sacrifice a lot of our artifacts with Umbral Collar Zealot, and we can actually get a burst ramp for our Crime Novelist turn, which is important because we can, get a lot of mana to deal damage. And then with those mana, we can play the remaining sort of artifacts that we have and then deal even more damage and maybe even win the game that turn. Along with that, though, there's a few cards I want to slot in. Obviously, Clockwork Percussionist is a pretty good card. It's a 1-mana artifact, and when it dies, we can even use it for Impulse Draw. We also have the new Tezzeret Cruel Captain that can help us search an artifact from our deck. Well, we have a lot of artifacts, right? Grim Bauble, Clockwork Percussionist are artifacts that can search out with his -3. And whenever a munition comes in, it is an artifact, so Tezzeret gets an extra loyalty counter. We get ultimate Tezzeret with this deck pretty consistently if we want to pull that direction, but I don't. I don't really want a 3-mana Planeswalker to ult and try to win with that. That's too slow, funny enough, for the current meta. I think our turn 1, turn 2 play is where all the oomph of this deck is going to be at. I also want to try out the Rottenmouth Viper, which, if we have a lot of munitions and we don't draw the Umbral Collar Zealot, that's just fine. We can Rottenmouth Viper and then shoot down all of our opponent's creatures on board, and then they're stuck between drawing a card or losing 4 life for each of the counters on the Rottenmouths, which is always painful. And then, of course, Tezzeret give us a little bit of a toolbox ability. So I put in 2 1-drop artifacts. One, a Basilisk Collar. If our opponent is a red deck, we can gain a lot of life with the lifelink part, especially if we put it on the Crime Novelist, because he gets big after we sack all the munitions. And we can also tutor out a Soul Guide Lantern if our opponent's playing a graveyard deck. Not anymore. They're gone. So that's the whole idea. To top it all off, we have 4 Torch the Tower for an early game removal, 4 Demand Answer for a little bit of burst card draw, and that's the whole deck. So, turn 1, obviously we want to play one of the 4 Clockwork Percussionists. We don't want to play anything else. Turn 1, we can hold up 4 Grim Bauble and 4 Torch the Tower for interaction plays. Falling short of that, we can always play a tap land, and falling short of even that, maybe we can drop a Soul Guide Lantern or a Basilisk Collar. Better than not doing anything, but most likely, even sometimes you don't want to do anything. Just drop a tap land, because turn 2, what we really want to do is drop our Weapons Manufacturing. One of the 4 Weapons Manufacturing can help this deck kind of ramp out. And once turn 2 we drop the weapons, turn 3 we can play Clockwork Percussionist, follow that up with a Demand Answer or Legion Extruder, and that means we can get 2 munitions or a munition that does 2 damage right away while getting some card draws. We also have Tithing Blade, a 2-mana Tithing Blade, which can make our opponent sacrifice whatever creature they have on board. So all those hexproof protections not going to help when they have to sacrifice that creature. And we have 3 Umbral Collar Zealot to make our shotgun effect go into effect, because this just is sacrifice a creature or artifact. There is no additional cost, just sacrifice whatever we need to. And then we have 2 Crime Novelists and 2 Tezzeret for our endgame combo, and 2 Rottenmouth Viper for that, I guess an extreme side of the combo. Just a extreme effect that if we were to land this, we probably win. Right, that's kind of the idea. And then for the lands, we're going to have 21 lands in this deck because you can see we kind of curve out to 2. A little bit of 3, and that's about it. We're not paying 6 for Rottenmouth Viper. Most likely we're going to sacrifice, 4 or 5 permanents to cast the Viper for 1. And then our land base, 3 swamps, 5 mountains, obviously because we have Verges with defaults to black. And then we have 4 Raucous Theater, which can turn out the Verges and can be our turn 1 tap land. We have 1 Fomori Vault with all these munitions. Fomori Vault could help us be a card draw spell, a loot spell, or a loot card, if you will, not a spell, but a land. And then we have 4 starting counts to get us also the red-black mana, the Rakdos mana that we may need. Unfortunately, because WotC, in their infinite wisdom, decided only put 5 shock lands in the current standard for whatever dumb reason, we only have the other colors. We don't have Rakdos. So that's why the land base look a little bit wonky. I really wish I had the shock lands and take out the theaters, because the shock lands make this deck run a lot smoother. But it is what it is. I want to try out this version right now and see how we can do. Let's go into the meta. Alright, our opponent is AcidicAlex. Oh, you're not salty? I'm salty. The opponent goes first. I have Torch. Weapons Manufacturing. No card draws, though. We got our Volt again. The one-off. I guess the biggest problem with this deck is card draw. Alright, there's a Spyglass Siren. Already popping off. It's green? What is this deck? Simic? Simic cookies? Could be. Thinking a long time about his Scry. Did want it, so he's not gonna map. Well, I'm not gonna let him map. Even though he did want it. Let's get our weapons manufacturing and manufacture some weapons. Bristly Bill. Okay, I don't know what this deck is now. It's a 3-3. Not anymore. Yeah, I'll take this damage. I want to theater out this turn. That's a good card. I'll keep that card. I can deal 2 damage. Oh. That's annoying. Land War Elf. Okay, well, I'm gonna demand some answers from you. Told me to pick my poison. You pick your poison. Bristly Bill again. Bushwhack for a land. I'm gonna play that land. Yeah, he is. Alright, well. The Tithing Blades again. Now we'll play the Vault. The reason why I played the Vault, even though it shows him what I have, is because I could technically draw a land that I need to tap, right? If it gets to 5, I'm going to have a hard time killing it. He does get to 5. And I will have a hard time killing it. This is 2 damage. This is also 2 damage. Does not kill it. If it doesn't kill it, do I even want to target it? Oh, I should have targeted it. That was a mistake. So let's fix that mistake. Grim Bauble. 1, 2, 3. I need one more, right? I need 2 more? I need all of this. Viper? Would you like to sack? Now my Fomori Vault doesn't actually do anything because I sacked all of my artifacts. Ah, unfortunate. But it's Simic. I don't know how to fight a 6/6 other than bouncing it. They can't bushwhack it. They don't have any creatures on board. They have a Vine Stalk, but that costs 6 mana to turn to life. Alright. Or maybe just bounce it. Then we just play it again. You know. Good old, good old. Thank God the Viper has the ETB triggers. Wonder what our opponent's thinking. Maybe he's turning from acidic to salty. Oh, he is salty. Alright, GG. Alright, our opponent is Hisana. Hi, Sana. What are we going to do? We going second. Alright. Let's be sad about it. Not much we can do while we're going second. We even got a Raucous Theater, so that's gonna be painful, but I think we start with... We start with the clock? We can also start with Torch. I kind of want to play the Percussionist after I have the weapon manufacturing out, right? So let's... Adagia. You know, no. I'm gonna hold up a Torch. Because if he has a Landware Elf that I need to kill, he didn't, but he could have. Alright, it is gonna be the Kona deck. Gotta be careful with the Kona deck. Do I want to hold up Demand Answer? Yeah, it's not too bad to hold up a Demand Answer, to be honest. Having untapped land is pretty cool. Take the 1. So I don't waste a turn here, right? If there's nothing else, I can Demand Answers. Do I sack an artifact or do I just discard a card? I don't need 2 theaters. Tithing Blade. And then a Grim Bauble. Let's go for the attack first. More theaters. Alright, another Percussionist. Don't really get to sacrifice it to anything yet, but maybe. There's Beza. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, he just gained the life, right? It doesn't really do much. I guess he's gonna start crewing. Yep. Alright, we'll get Raucous Theater out. Extruder is pretty nice. We'll get a Tithing Blade. Make him sack his creature. And we'll also get the second Percussionist out. Probably has another Beza though. Roiling Dragonstorm. Take 2. Take another 2. That's really all I can do right now. There is a Beza. Okay. I can sack one of these. This all of them have to fish. It's not too... Station only has a sorcery, so I get to sack one of these to break one fish. And the other one dies. No, wait, no, it doesn't die. Can't fully crew, so that matters. I'll go to my turn. He has so much life here. Get to copy something. Maybe the Dragonstorm? Actually, no. No, he does not. I could also use this. Sacrifice one of these. Got another blade. Down to 13. Not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Obviously, the Omniscience is going to get me, right? That's the one. Moraine River Region, what is he going to bounce? Bounce 2 of my artifacts. Yeah. It's annoying, but it is what it is, you know? You cruise it, so you can't block. I drew a land. Alright, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really only 4 damage. Can't kill it. I can sack the Percussionist to see if I can get a not-useless card. I don't. Yeah, if I played a Torch, I will probably just get screwed by the Omniscience. We got a very important turn coming where we drew a land. Should have attacked too. Roiling Dragonstorm. No attacks, huh? Okay. Ooh, that's a lantern. Well, I don't think the lantern does much. Let's go for the attack first. We're gonna Grim Bauble you. Can he copy? Oh, activate only as a sorcery. He's gonna bounce off his own creature. Alright. Well, I got it off the board. Does any of these matter? It's gonna draw cards. Pretty sure he wants the Omniscience win here. Hisana. I've been holding this torch forever. There's the Kona. Alright, this sack does not actually kill it, right? So this is 3. We will sack this. Two damage to the face. Oh, that's a good card. He's gonna stock up. Alright, we're gonna show him what happened when he tries to stock up. And pass turn. We're gonna sack this to draw. Oh, you're gonna quit. GG. I don't know. I've been holding on to that torch for a while. Alright, our opponent is Atypical. Well, I think he's going to be typical. Opponent goes first. Pretty typical. We got a Percussionist. That's not really good, but got some blades that could be useful. Mako. Yeah, we got some blades that could be useful, so maybe we just sling those blades and see where we go. Come on, Ghost Vacuum. Okay. Not a Ghost Vacuum, but it's a start. Blood Maul. The Mako attack. We start getting rid of these. I don't want to see those. Too bad of nothing, huh? Alright, the question is, do I want a Crime Novelist out there? Just get hit by something big. I could also just Percussionist. Yeah, let's do that. Answer Vivi. "19 turns to go, I guess." Ooh, a Zealot. That's a pretty nice card. Could have used that last game. Yeah, I still have the torch, so this is fine. Proft. He wants to draw his card. No lands for you? I'm sorry. There are lands for me. We can kill almost any one of his creatures, but not a Cauldron. Opt. Alright, he's opting to not do anything here. I think I'm gonna sack it on upkeep, right? For the Surveil. Actually, I lose the mana if I sack it on upkeep. So, no need to do that. It's got 1 blue mana. I mean, it's probably just a Flood Maul. There's a Flood Maul. I have enough to stop a Vivi. There's a Cauldron. No Vivis, but there's a Cauldron. I don't even need the mana. I can sack this. This will be 2 mana, but I don't have the extra red. Now I do. Now I don't want to sack it. Oh boy, okay. Three, 4, 5, 6. down to 4. Yeah, sure. I can play Tursa here, but I'll kill Tursa before... Actually, no, the Agatha is going to be on the stack, right? So I gotta kill Tursa in response. No, then the Prof is on the stack. Okay, that's going to be tricky. There's the Tursa. So it'll be a 5-power creature. And there's 2 Vivis. Let's see if he does it. That's a mistake. He should have went into combat. I'll sack this. Ha! GG. So here's what he should have done, right? He drew 2 cards. Prof could have put 2 counters on this. If he tried to kill in response, then he Agatha. Well, doesn't mean you know how to play the game, Atypical. Alright, our opponent is GT100. A Dauntless Drafter. Well, of course, Dauntless Drafters go first. I got 1 removal. Let's use it. Higher Claw. Let's get it gone. I don't want to see it. Okay. Do I drop the starting town here? Probably not. I don't want to ping myself if I don't need to. Gonna demand some answers. Probably the screaming. What the heck is that? When an opponent casts a spell? Wait. Yeah. Put out the Tithing Blade. Go put your +1/+1 counter on it. I do have a torch. I don't know if that's gonna hit anything. Hellkite, alright. It's gonna come in and go away. How much does it cost? Does it cost 4 or 5? It costs 5, so we can just play it again and hit Tezzeret. That doesn't seem fun at all. I actually can't Percussionist and... Yeah, it's gonna be awkward, huh? Do I hold up Torch? I can hold up Torch. Yeah, just hardcast it. No weapons manufacturing, so this game is not looking... Well, things just changed, right? We Legion Extruder. 2 damage here. And then we can sacrifice our Tithing Blade. I get a red. Ooh, that's a card I want. Unfortunately, I can't draw it. I have nothing to sack, too. Pull back the 1/1 in case I need a blocker. I don't know, you could have a haystack. It is a weird deck. Oh, my Crime Novelist is gone. And he has a higher claw. Okay. I don't know if I'll get there, right? Tezzeret will give me a 1-drop. Tezzeret will not give me... Well, if it's a 1-drop, might as well use it right now.
The edge of technology serves one goal. Every piece grants me power.
Get that out of here.
There is no system I can't improve.
Torchy McTorch. I could use that. Why did I attack? that was so wrong. I'll take 3 here. Maelstrom. I don't think he's gonna block. Wouldn't make any sense to block here. Yeah. So we get to untap it. And we do a little bit of weapons manufacturing.
Power.
Just attacking. Let's do the 2 damage first. What do we have as a top deck? It's a land! Another Lynx. We'll take another 3, we go to 6. This will be pretty painful.
I expect success.
Wait, I don't have to sack it. I can just deal 2. Alright, here is a blade.
All too easy. This technology is advanced, but exploitable.
Let's get that collar.
This will suffice.
That's why it's in the deck. Ha!
Soon
I can gain life now.
will is my own.
Sucker. GG. Alright, our opponent is Octo the Crafty. Crafty Octo here. We go first. Extruder is the only card that we have. Still gonna keep though. I like having a weapons manufacturing, and Extruder can just sack the munitions. Or Demand Answer can sack the munitions as well. It's a lot of things. 3 sacks outlet. What could go wrong, right? Oh boy. Never say that. Never ever say that. Well, the first thing that go wrong is ropes. Mountain. That's land number 4. I don't need that. I'm gonna regret that, huh? This is all the lands I'm gonna get this game. Swamp? Oh god. Please. Now to undress. At least there's that. Let's get our weapons manufacturing out there. Do some manufacturing. I'm gonna need a torch to get the sizzle out of the way, but I might just get batted here. Demon Wall. Okay. I'm gonna do this, I think. Percussionist. And we'll attack. I don't think he's gonna block. Yeah, no blocks. Do I want the extruder out? Or do I want to demand some answers? This extruder only does 2 damage, right? But every turn it does 2 damage after that. So that's not too bad. Unholy Annex. Oh boy. It's a lot of free card draws you can get. Let's break that wall. Those are some decent cards, but maybe not for this turn. I mean, I can't just make a 3/3 too. It's a lot of answers in my hand too. That's pretty good. Having Umbral Collar Zealot just makes me feel very comfortable with the weapons that I'm manufacturing. And if Cecil wants to come in, we'll fight him head on. Never mind. Okay, what would you take? Tithing Blades is probably the best card. You can't take the Zealot. Taking the Mana Answer hurts, but not to that extent. Right, so not really anything really worthwhile here to take. Does take the Mana Answer. This is not a demon. Well, I mean, this is 2/2, right? I don't have that 5th mana, so I think this is gonna cost 3 mana total to kill one of these things. But on the other hand, maybe I do the attack first. It's kind of awkward. Just gonna do this attack first. See if he even wants to block. He can see my hand. Those are the blocks I like to see. And that's the land I want to see. Okay. We get the Bauble down. And we get a Zealot down. He knows I have a Tithing Blade, so if he just plays a demon, it dies. He might still do it, but it won't be good. Kills the Zealot. Nah, you know what? I'll let him do that. The Extruder can kind of slow sack. Wait. Let's pass to the end first. Does he want to play anything? Feels like he has a sorcery or instant thing he can play, but I don't know what it is. Is Defeat the Swarm? That would be pretty annoying. Oh, just Charm. Returns 2 creatures. I get a torch. Demon Wall again. Cecil. It's past the end. Let's get... I don't need another Zealot. I mean, it doesn't hurt. If I put it away, I'd probably draw a land. Yeah, I mean, I could draw. He goes to 5. We'll go to my turn here. Yeah, I know I was going to draw a land, right? So here's the Tithing Blade. Sacked Cecil. And that's GG. This is 3 damage and that's 2. Oh, the weapon manufacturing. We manufacture our way to the victory. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Rakdos manufacturing games, how does this deck feel? I gotta say, it's give and take. You know, there are days where, or there are games where this deck feels indestructible, unstoppable, and there are games where I felt not great because I drew all the bad cards. So this is one of those decks because we are very draw dependent, right? We don't have any crazy good card draw. We have an impulse draw and demand answer, and we have a slight tutor in Tezzeret Crew Captain, but that's about it. So that means we really, I guess we also have impulse draw and Clockwork Percussionist. That means we really have to rely on the mulligans, and I'm not a great mulliganist. Is that the word? So there's a lot for me to learn here. I think I got a little bit better towards the end. It's really important to mulligan for your Torch to Tower early game, and mulligan to try to hit weapons manufacturing. Fairly short of that, at least some impulse draws to try to get there. It's okay if you don't have any sack outlets yet. Eventually we'll draw them, and that's kind of how I feel about this deck. Now, a little bit of fine-tuning that I think can be done. I think the Zealots is not enough. Too many Vipers, so I want to go down to 1 Viper and go to 4 Zealots. And that's really the only small change that I think I will go to. And if you really don't like the Viper at all, you can cut the Viper entirely and add another Crime Novelist. I think the Crime Novelist really didn't have his time to shine, even though whenever the Crime Novelist came out, I think we pretty much won those games. But the problem with it is that the Novelist costs 3, and it doesn't do anything until it comes in, unless we have something to sack already, which would mean that it will probably come out in turn 4 or 5, and that's not great, right? Turn 4 or 5 in current standards already late game. Basically last turn of the game, sort of. So another thing that the Umbral Collar Zealot could help is that if we have a turn 1, let's say a Percussionist, or a Grim Bauble if we went second, right, killing their Landware Elf. Turn 2 we can play a Zealot, and turn 3 we can play a Novelist, using the Zealot to sacrifice the Percussionist and get that mana and maybe cast another Percussionist or something like that. So that's, you know, a fringe play that could happen, but most likely the Crime Novelist is a good card, just unfortunately in the current meta, this insane card that gives you both counters and red mana ramp is not fast enough. So it's really about how we play it. No treasure in this deck. That's probably the biggest thing I also see that makes it a little bit kind of hard in the super early game, like your turn 2, turn 3 sort of. Are we answering our opponent, or are we building up our board kind of way, right? And if we have treasures, that could help, and that's where Magna could come in, right? Maybe we can try to slot in the Magna in this deck instead of something. I'm not sure, but right now I think this deck, you know, as you saw the games today, it was pretty good, and it was very fun to play. There's a lot of thoughts to go into, you know, what do we tutor out? When do we sacrifice? What do we sacrifice? How should we sacrifice? Do we play the Legion Extruder or hold up demand answer for a card draw? There's all these kinds of small decisions that ultimately snowballs into either a win or a loss. That makes these decks fun. That makes these decks difficult, but that's even better. And that's, you know, how I feel about this deck. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.